place that is haunted. Right from the start, dear, built on an acre of sand.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zada.
And I'm Kelly. And you're listening to
Two Sides in the Truth. So today we're going to have a special guest.
Woo! I'm so excited.
I know. We got quite a few things to talk about. The special guest is just going to be on for a second, like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We don't know how it's going to go. But he works for Al. His name's Bo. He's a very special person.
I love me some Bo, man.
Everybody does. He is a very special person.
He's everybody's favorite.
He is. And he just told me, and I don't think he's much younger than me. I think he's between our ages.
I think he just had a birthday and he's like 47.
Okay, he's my age. Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that. He's looking good. And
I only know that because Terry asked him how old he was, and he told Terry, and so Terry gave him that many dollars for his birthday.
Aww.
I was like, that's so cute.
That is cute.
I'm 479.
That's weird. I'm 2000. So weird.
You look so good for your age.
I mean, I'm older than you.
Like,
We knew
do
this.
you moisturize?
I do a lot with cocaine. No, nothing else would do that.
I like make this special mixture of cocaine and vodka.
Yeah,
and I rub it on my skin.
And this is what you look like. Yeah, at 2,000 years old. 2001, Terry. Actually, if we're gonna round.
Okay,
up.
yeah.
Anyway, so his to go from funny to not funny. His mom passed away about a year ago, I guess. And it's, affected his life.
Yeah.
And so he tells me today, and when you hear him talk, you'll understand how sweet and genuine this is. This is not in the least bit not genuine and sweet. He was like, well, I've lost my mom. So for Mother's Day, I went over, just said it just like this. I went over to Mother's Day and I put some flowers on her grave. And, and I don't have a mom. So today I guess you're being my mom, and we're going to record this podcast.
Nice.
And
if I had to pick a mom, I would definitely.
I was like, hell yeah, come on. You're now my son. And so basically he came to me a few weeks ago and he was like, when am I going to be on the podcast? Y'all is coming in and recording the podcast. Mm-hmm. When am I going to be on it? He did not. He was like, I'm going to be on the podcast. I can't say no to Bo.
No, there's no saying no to Bo.
No one can say to no. He is just the kindest, gentlest, just the sweetest person. So we're going to bring Bo over and kind of introduce him and have him tell y'all a little bit about himself.
Woo-woo.
And then we're going to get on to the normal part of the show. So I hope you all enjoy it. And if you've ever wanted to see a truly gentle soul, you're about to meet him.
You are about to. I'm so excited for y'all.
I don't know how he wants to be in a room with us, but because he's just the kindest, sweetest, gentlest man ever. So we're going to bring him over and y'all are going to meet him. And let's see how it goes. Okay, so we're back with Bo. And I'm just going to let Bo introduce himself. So Bo, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell them your name, how old you are, and where you're from.
I'm from here, Waxahachie, Texas. I'm 48. I am from here.
All right. We're the same age.
I was 1 year off.
Close. We're the same age, Bo. Isn't that neat? Did you graduate in 1993 from Waxahachie?
No, 96.
96. Okay.
96.
So you were a few years behind me.
96.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
96.
So what do you do here at Al's? What's your job?
Bus table and help everybody out.
Yeah. Yeah. And you like it?
Yeah.
What have you ever done before this job?
I worked at the Ryan.
What is it?
Ryan Cafe.
Oh, Ryan's Cafe.
Before
they closed down.
And I work at the hospital for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
That's so nice.
And what did you do there?
Same thing.
Same thing. All right. So food service is your thing, kind of.
Yes.
And you like it?
Yes.
You like working for Al?
Yes.
You can't say no, can you? Because he's your boss. Me too. No, I was just kidding. So
he's a good guy. He's really good.
He's a kind person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your favorite thing about your job?
Everything.
Everything. You just love coming to work?
Yeah.
And I know you moved to Dallas about a year ago, right?
After my mama passed away, so I have to move.
And with your aunt? Do you live with your aunt?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And so how do you get to work now?
She bring me here on Thursday.
Uh-huh.
I go home on Sunday.
Where do you stay in between?
I stay here is my brother's wife.
Okay. Well, that's nice. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice.
It's good to have family close.
It is.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have a supportive family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well, tell me a little bit about working here. Is there anything you've ever seen that you were just shocked by that was just crazy, like crazy customer? Anything?
No.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I started working here, 2 years, I put the beer down and I put my head up and started fight in here.
Oh, man.
You saw a fight in here?
Yeah, I'm behind the bar.
Oh.
I feel beer on my head.
Oh, no.
And I get up and look. I said, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, Bo don't do that.
No, I don't.
Bo don't do that.
I don't do that.
No. So do you listen to music, Bo?
Sometimes I listen to gospel.
Gospel.
Nice.
Do you have a favorite singer or gospel singer? Just any gospel.
Taylor Man, that's the woman. It's the woman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do
Taylor
you,
the King.
do you have a favorite song?
Oh, no.
No, just any of it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you go to church every weekend.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you go?
I'm from Mount Lebanon, Princeton Baptist Church in Waxahachie.
Oh.
Okay.
My pastor is Pastor Dottie Yates.
All right. Well, I
Well,
like
shout out to that pastor.
I know. He's doing a good job, obviously.
Yeah.
He's got you leading life right.
Yeah.
Right.
So is there anything that you would like us to know about you?
No, that's it.
Nothing in particular. I got a question, and if you don't have an answer, it's okay. But we talk a lot on the podcast about my mom, and my mom passed away about 10 years ago. But I like to tell little stories about my mom and share good memories about my mom.
Or
and
words
whatever.
of wisdom.
Okay, stop right there.
You can't do that?
Yeah. Stop
Okay,
right
what you got?
there. Stop right there. She died before Christmas, and I worked in here that morning, and my brother's wife said, I need you to come at the hospital now. I said, for what? Your mama can't breathe. I said, okay. So I had my work clothes on, and I told her, Sean, I got to go. I got to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And to go. I didn't change my clothes. I ain't nothing.
Just went straight there.
I went straight there.
Yeah.
With my work clothes.
Yeah,
on.
that's your mama. Yeah.
I had to clock out and went here
Yeah.
at that hospital
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
I had that. Do you have a good memory of your mom that's really funny or sweet? Like, did she used to say something to you?
Oh yeah, we went to the doctor every day, every morning. At 5:30 in the morning, and we get up. I get up. I said, "Mom, let's go. The van's out there."
Yeah.
So that's me.
So you took care of your mama.
Yeah.
You love your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're good. I'm not surprised at all that you were a great son.
Yes, I cook sometimes for her.
Oh, you did?
What do you like to cook?
Anything she like to eat.
Oh, that's a good answer.
I mean, that's the best answer. Can you teach all men that?
Anything.
anything you want.
Anything you want.
Anything you want.
Aw.
Anything you want.
Well,
You're a winner.
I'm really glad you came on the podcast.
This is my first time.
Your first podcast.
Do you have anybody that you want to give a shout out to that might listen?
You want to say hi to someone?
I want to say, Al, I love you, but say Ken and Sean too.
All right. That is so sweet.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Yes.
For real.
I love me some Bo. I've had to tell you that I'm sure that there's plenty of people that are right here along with me that you are such a light whenever we come into Al's, being able to see you. You are always happy doing your job, and it's so awesome.
I have never seen you not happy.
It's so awesome to see. I love it.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us.
You
No
you
problem.
make great energy, man.
Yeah, you do. So y'all be like Bo.
Be like Bo. That's a T-shirt right there.
I know. I think there was Bo was a professional football. Did you know who Bo was, the football player?
Yes.
He played baseball, football, everything. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a long time ago. But it was good.
He ain't playing no more.
I don't think so. No, he's older than us, so no, probably not. Yeah, he retired a long time ago.
Long time ago.
All right, so we're gonna say goodbye to Bo and go to the next stage of the podcast. And Bo, I'm gonna walk you out.
Thank you so much for being here, Bo.
Thank you, Bo.
Good evening.
All right, the good evening. All right. Okay, so everybody, thanks for listening through the part with Bo. I knew that it would be very special. I didn't know what direction it was going to go in, but I knew it was going to go special, right?
Loved
Kelly?
it. I loved it.
He's a huge, important person in Waxahachie.
Yeah.
And Al has really latched onto him and taken really good care of him. And it says a lot about Al as well.
Sure does.
He takes care of people. So on to the next part. We're going to talk about Mother's Day. And I know we already had our Mother's Day edition, but I did not have my Mother's Day gift yet.
And it's a good one.
And it's a good one. So I did talk about the gift I got from my other kids from their stepmom, which was very sweet. And then for my daughter says, in true Zoe fashion, my older daughter, and true Zada fashion, I am just as guilty of this. Like, she straight up is just like me in this response. I'm really late at things. And so she calls me on Mother's Day, wish me happy Mother's Day. She goes, your gift's going to be there in 2 days. I'm sorry, but it takes 2 days. And so it's coming. All right. And I was like, all right. And she was like, and it's going to seal the deal that I'm your favorite child.
Right.
She goes, it's from me and Zane. It was my idea, but he paid for half of it.
That's important.
If that's not some typical big sister shit.
I'll give you a little bit of credit, just a little.
And so she told me it cost $50 and that they split it. So I thought it was $100, 50 each, but it wasn't. It was $25 each, $50 total. And it was the best $50 she could have spent. And it was literally the best Mother's Day. I want to say the best gift I've ever gotten. I'm not kidding. Ever. I'm not kidding. I really think it, because it just was so fucking perfect.
It was.
So on Tuesday, I was recording with Al Tuesday night, and I'm in the middle of recording, and she sends me a text, and she goes, this is your Mother's Day gift. And it's a link. But I can't listen to it or watch it yet because I'm recording. Yeah. So she tried to call me too. And so I text her and I'm like, I'm middle of recording. I'll get back with you. So then when I'm done recording, I go next door and saying goodbye, blah, 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 blah. And she's blowing me up. She wants to talk about it right now. I'm like, girl, I haven't even looked at it yet. Like, give me a minute, you know? So I get out to my car and look at it. And it's a video. And if you've ever heard of Cameo, have you heard of Cameo?
No, I haven't.
Okay, not everybody's heard of it, but a lot of people do know what it is. And it's where you can pay like a reality star or like some semi-famous people, whatever. I don't think there's anyone crazy famous on there. I don't know. I've never gone on it. And you can go on Cameo and they offer to send like birthday gift or birthday messages, FaceTimes.
Shout outs, yeah.
Sometimes it's, I think, a live conversation where you can talk to them for a second. And sometimes I think it's just a recording especially for you. Yeah. So this is basically what this was, but it wasn't someone famous. It was even better because I don't really give a shit about famous people for the most part. Same. Yeah. I would be pretty excited about Dolly Parton, but you know. So anyway, so she got these guys from Africa. And it's a recording, and these guys from Africa come on, and I guess you send the picture you want to send, and you send your favorite song and the message you want to give, and then they deliver the message with the song in the background and incorporate your picture so that you know it really is for them. Yeah, I thought it was green screen. I really did. When I saw it, I was like, "This is not real." This is not real.
It's too good.
But it was real. Okay. So she paid these guys. She sends them in her order. And it's these, 10 African guys. And I mean African, not African American, but they were also black, but African men. And they are buff as shit.
Oh my gosh.
Like, yeah. Is there a gym there? I don't know.
I'm sure.
Well, I was laughing.
Doing it, however.
I'll tell you what I think about it after I tell you about it. Then I want to revisit this, okay? But anyways, so I just want you to picture what they look like, and they're dressed in like some kind of like African-ish garb, like you would see in a magazine,
but only pants.
Only pants,
no shirt.
But they're not even real pants. Like I don't think were they? I don't know if I noticed. There's no shirt.
I never even noticed.
They're very handsome men. And so they have no shirts on.
I can't even tell you what color the pants were.
I don't know if they had pants on at all. And anyway, so they're like flexing and dancing, and they start off and they hold up a sign, and it's like a sign where you can put on a message board, and they read the message board in their African accents, and it's like, "Happy Mother's Day, Zada. You are a badass."
I love it.
What was the next part? I've listened to it so many times.
It was like something from...
you are an outlaw woman.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you this. Let me continue it. From our love, Zada, or Zoe and Zani, because they don't know how to pronounce the name.
Zoe and Zane.
and then there's the 4 guys in the back have guns, and they let off a load up in the sky, and they're and And then they start playing Outlaw Women by Hank Jr. If you don't know the song, I want you to right now stop the podcast. Right now.
Just cut us off.
Cut the podcast off. Listen to the song and then come back to us. And you'll realize even why this is even funnier. But also, if you listen to the Third Wheel, we discussed this song literally moments before I got the
Oh my God.
gift. We discussed on the other podcast what song they'll play at our funeral. And that's the song I always say will be played at my funeral. It's my theme song.
Oh, yeah.
And so you seriously, Hank Jr., Outlaw Women, stop and listen to it. Don't listen to one where he duets it with Gretchen Wilson. Don't do that shit. Just the original version, okay? Anyways, so my kids know that's my song because they have to play it at my funeral. I threaten to haunt them, and not in a good way. And so they're playing Outlaw Women, these African guys, and they're just dancing and flexing, but they also have a picture of me.
It's the best.
And one of them, a big picture of me.
Big picture.
Okay, printed out. And he comes up to the front of the camera and he starts like making out with my picture.
Yeah, he's like kissing it.
Over the top. And the other guy, another guy comes to the front and kind of fights him over it ish. Like, that's my woman.
That was my favorite part is when he pushes the other guy away.
And then winks. The main guy deserves, I want to tip him.
Right.
I feel like I went to the strip club. So then they do all this. And then when they're done with their introduction and the makeout session, they go back to the formation of the other men and start dance/posing with their muscles.
Yeah. Dance posing.
Yes, until the end of the song. I have shown it to every fucking person. I swear to you, I've shown everybody.
Every person.
Everybody.
Every person that walks by. Hey, look at this.
And
That's me.
A guy I work with today, Justin, I showed it to him and he was like, I cannot process this.
I felt the same way.
What did I just
was like,
watch?
What am I watching?
And I
right
said,
now?
what did you not like about
Why
it?
am I around?
He was like, I love everything about it. I said, well, if you need to know how to purchase one, I can find out. He said, I'm going to pass.
I've never been more jealous of you in my life.
I know. I don't blame you. Who wouldn't be?
I'm going to pay for my own.
Yeah. And so if y'all want to watch the video, I have tried to post it on Instagram and it's really hard to get it clear on Instagram.
Yeah.
So it is on Facebook and crystal clear on Facebook. So if you want to see it, it's open to the public if you don't want to friend request me. So if you just want to look at it, it's Zada Owens. If you do want to friend request me, also do that.
Yeah.
Zada Owens.
Yeah.
And while we're doing that, I will tell you I'm Z Mama Cita on Instagram and Kelly is.
I'm Kelly Lady Pearl on Instagram.
Follow us, let us know. And if, but you got to watch this damn video.
Yeah, you do. It's life changing.
Leave a comment. Let us know. Even if we're not friends, leave a comment and say, came to watch it. Anyways, it's so ridiculous. It's literally the best thing that I have ever gotten in my life.
Yeah, she did good. They did good.
Yeah, it was. And okay, this is what I was going to say about it. As I've thought about it for the last 2 days, because I have not stopped. I have watched it. I'm not kidding, 10 times. And I capture. I kind of now I'm to the point I watch a different guy in the background each time because it's hard to concentrate on them with the main guys.
Yeah,
but they're funny too. And so I'm like, okay, here's the thing. These guys are not really walking around this African gear. These guys could be like freaking college students, athletes. They could be like successful businessmen.
Obviously, they're successful
That's
businessmen.
what I said. And they're just doing this as a gimmick or whatever, but they nailed it. And then my thought was, what were they doing? Hey, I'm going to guess the one making out with me was like, hey, I got a good idea, guys. I know how we can make some money.
$1 million idea.
This is what we're going to do. And I'm like, one of those guys is a smart motherfucker is the moral of this story.
Yeah. Very
So,
smart.
So, I'm sorry for the rest of you moms that you didn't get a gift as good of mine. as
Right?
mine. You
Way to
can't
make
compete.
everybody feel bad.
Sorry, your kids suck. No, I'm kidding. Sorry for your luck.
Sorry about your bad luck.
And so on the whole, on that topic of favorite children, because Zoe did basically announce to Facebook she's definitely my favorite child now that she's come up with this. I have an ongoing joke with my kids, and this included when I had my bonus boys in the home with me. I had 2 boys that were not mine that lived with me on and off for a number of years because they didn't really have a good home life. And so I started an ongoing joke that whoever did something for me last, like the last person to do something that I asked them to do with no whining, just did it. Or even better, if they did it without me asking, they're my favorite child. Now, do I really have favorites? I do not have favorites. Now, sometimes I might have a least favorite for a second.
Yeah.
But they're not. It's not real. You know what I mean? I'm just upset. But I don't play favorites, and I don't think any of my kids would tell you I play favorites. I try not. You know, I'm conscious of it. You know, and like for example, my youngest son, he's the youngest. The youngest kind of gets screwed over a lot. The middle and the youngest do for different reasons. But the youngest, it comes down to hand-me-downs, and especially if it's single mom and stuff like that, you know. Well, his brother would not share his Xbox with him. He totally controlled the Xbox. Like, you could only play on a whim when I decide you can play what we're going to play.
Yeah.
And, you know, Zoe was getting older, and he was like, dude, I want to play. Like, stop. Like, man, I want to play. And they're good. He's really good. So it's not like he was having to play with his brother that sucked, you know?
Right.
And as a single parent, you can only afford so many Xboxes.
Yeah, those things are expensive.
Yeah. And so Zane was being kind of an ass about it when Zoe was about, I don't know, he was probably 10, 11 years old. The Xbox One had just come out. Like nobody had them. And I just got sick of it one day, and I went and bought him an Xbox One and a bunch of games and controller, and I came home and I was like, there you go. It wasn't his birthday, anything. And I was like, there you go. I turned to my other son. I was like, that's what happens when you don't share.
Yeah.
He gets the new Xbox. Because in my family, the older kid gets it, it gets passed down.
Yeah.
Nah, the youngest kid got the new Xbox.
We're going to flip this on his head.
Yes. I'm gonna change that up. Anyways,
I like that.
I mean, because he does kind of get screwed over on occasion, you know. So I try not to play favorites. My mom didn't on purpose play favorites, but she definitely had favorites, and I was not the favorite. Believe it or not, as much as I talk about my mom, I was not the favorite because I was the one that always was arguing with her because I'm me and she was her, and we were a lot alike in many ways, but I was in denial for a long time, so we were going to fight about it. And she was also crazy, so that didn't help. So I wasn't her favorite. But she was never like cruel or mean. It was just a connection thing, and I didn't need her. I was independent. You know, my other siblings like, nah, man, I need my mom. I was like, I'm out, deuces. I can't, you know how it goes. But what made me think of this is the other day, Rick came home from his mom's house for Mother's Day. He went and had lunch with his mom for Mother's Day. And we have an ongoing joke because, you know, I'm not his mom's favorite person. And so his brother and his brother's girlfriend got back together. So there's now a sister-in-law. Like Rick has a sister-in-law from one brother, and his other brother has a pretty serious girlfriend. And then there's me. I don't even go to her. I won't even be around her. Like, we do not have a relationship. I have had to go completely black out of that. I don't have a relationship with her at all. Don't see her, don't talk to her, no nothing. So I'm like, I guess I'm back in third place.
Back to bronze.
I guess I'm back in third place now that number 2 is back.
That knocked you out of the running.
So Rick, who's always been the favorite child, was like, I think you've gotten me knocked out of first place.
Oh, bum, bum, bum. Ain't that some shit?
And he was joking. He was like, I do think it's because of you. I'm not going to lie.
It's not me, it's you.
Yeah. He was like, well worth it. I'm okay with it.
It's less stress when you're not the favorite. You know what I mean? I was the baby of the family, so I was the favorite regardless of if I was actually the favorite or not. It was just I was
in your head. You were
I
the
was
favorite.
Definitely main character energy my entire life.
I believe that.
And I was sick when I was born. I had to be care flighted. They thought they were going to lose me.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah. So, a lot of, as I was young, I was really, really babied, not just by my mom and my dad, but by like the whole family, because I was the youngest of everybody at that time, all the cousins and everything. I was the new youngest baby, and I almost died. So, everybody kind of loved me, and I was my granddad's favorite, and that was a known thing. Like, everybody knew I was granddad's favorite.
Yeah.
And so when you're like, that's the hierarchy of the family. When you're the
youngest is the oldest favorite.
If you're the granddad's favorite, I mean, you just have to fall in line. I'm sorry. But you
didn't choose a life; it chose you.
Exactly. And then I had kind of a rough childhood growing up. I was sexually assaulted when I was young, and when my parents found out about that, it was even more so. You know, they felt bad, like they felt like they didn't protect me. They had those
overthought
those
it,
feelings,
parent
you know?
guilt.
And so then it was the very much like trying to, make me feel better. And so it was like anything that I wanted kind of thing. And
Right.
I never really played into that. I never played like victim or made them feel like they had to give me anything, but I did feel like a little bit like I was kind of under a magnifying glass after that.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to helicopter parent, like they didn't want anything to happen
Protective,
to me.
yeah.
So yeah, there's that. But
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I went my whole life not her favorite, like my whole life, like always. And she even told me one time that Zoe was her favorite because he was her only son, and that Tira was her favorite because her dad was the love of her life. And I was like, okay, that I don't know what to say to that. I'm sorry. I like dad. I don't know. Damn. But I will tell you, when she died, I was her favorite. And I know that it ate my sister. My brother didn't give a shit. My sister was used to being the favorite. And but at the end, I let it go. All the stuff I was holding her accountable for, I just let it go for both of our sake, you know. And I didn't do it right before she died. I did it a few years before she died. Like, I recognized I needed to fix this relationship, and I fixed it. She recognized she needed to fix this relationship, and she fixed it. So the last 5 years of her life, we had an amazing relationship. We mended fences. We built on those fences. When she passed away, I was the one holding her hand. I was the only child in the room of hers. I'm forever grateful for that moment. But in the end, I was her favorite. I'm just going to say, definitely nailed it in the end.
I'm happy that y'all were able to do that, because sometimes people can't ever get to that point and then they're left with regrets.
I credit my divorce. Yeah. Because the biggest issue in our relationship was my ex-husband. Yeah. And when we got divorced, she was actually mad at me. And which I thought was really funny, because she hated my ex-husband. She didn't want us married. She didn't want us having kids together. She didn't want anything to do with him. She was anti him. And then when I called her and I said, Mom, I'm going to get a divorce. And it was my idea. It was all me. Mm-hmm. He did not want a divorce. And I thought my mom would be like, great. What can I do to help? And my mom was like, bitch, you made your bed. You lie in it.
Right.
Oh, and gosh. I was like, man,
I can never win.
I was like, too late. I've already disposed of the bed.
That bed is burned.
I burned that shit. And then I fucked someone else in it. In
on
the new
the
one.
ashes.
Yeah, on the ashes. So, yeah. But after she got the initial, she just didn't want my kids to come from a broken home and to deal with that. And she really didn't care for Scott, but she appreciated him as a father, because he was a really good father prior to her divorce. And so she just was kind of shocked because of that. And she knew I'd have a lot on my plate with 4 kids. We already knew Zaylee had some kind of special need. We didn't know what it was yet. So she just wanted the best, you know. And but then, because of our divorce, I was able to see her more. I was able to talk to her more. I was able to be more open with her. I had to own my own mistakes, and in my own personality mistakes. Like, you know, we have, I don't know if personality mistakes are a real word for it, but
I don't understand what you're saying.
I get the fact that I have flaws in my personality.
Flaws.
I definitely have.
Of course, we all do.
Yeah, and you know, I need to own mine, because, you know, when you're younger, you see everything wrong with your mom and you never see anything wrong with yourself. And I started seeing what was wrong with me, and then I started understanding why things were broken with her.
Right.
So as you get older, and you know, I
definitely think that self-reflection is something that is learned as you get older. It's not so easy to do when you're younger.
My 30s was an awakening because of my divorce. It opened all new doors mentally for me. And I was able to let go of all the expectations of me. I had to be perfect.
I can vouch for that too, because in my 30s, I feel like I have come to realize that so much more. Like, and I've always been very, I've had good self-esteem. Well, not always. When I was in my teens, that was hard. School was hard. But as I got older, I realized the control that I had over my body, and, I can do this. I can tweak this. I can grow my hair out. I can do whatever I want. Yeah. I get covered in tattoos. So I've been able to cope and feel better about my body. But I definitely feel like it's something that you have to work on, like just like you have to work on your mental health or anything like physical health. Like you have to work on the way that you feel about
yourself. And we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah,
So
'cause-
what a perfect segue. We did not plan that.
We did not. That's how good we are. I'll tell you that right now.
Kelly,
I was
professional.
so I have Wednesdays off, and this Wednesday was the first time in a long time that it was actually nice weather. So I was like, I'm going to the lake. So I was getting all my stuff ready and putting on my bathing suit. And of course I was in a bikini and what I was thinking was like, you have to you have to love yourself and you have to live your life. You cannot waste your time worrying about what other people are thinking about you, and you can't base your self-image off of that, because nobody has it good. It doesn't matter what kind of body type you have. You're never going to bat 100 or 1,000 or whatever the thing. It's not going to happen, because you can have two completely different body types. You can have somebody who thinks that they're overweight. They thinks that, oh, I can't be wearing this because people are going to be looking at me like, oh, why is she wearing that? It doesn't matter if you have a perfect body. You're going to have people looking at you that way. So you can have
everybody's idea of perfection is different.
I know, but I'm saying mentally, if you're thinking that somebody that has a toned and muscular body, oh, they deserve to wear a bikini, you're gonna have the people that are looking at you and thinking, oh man, yeah, because you're their type and they like that, and you're gonna have the people looking at you like, oh, why is she wearing that? And it doesn't matter if you're overweight, quote unquote, or if you are not overweight, because the people who have those quote unquote perfect bodies have people looking at them like, why is she wearing that? Oh my gosh, she has no self worth. Like, why is she showing so much skin? Why this? Why she? Gosh, why she needs to be more modest? So it doesn't matter. Like, you're gonna have the half the people that like it and half the people that don't like it. So it makes no difference coming from you. Like, you're not gonna please everybody. The only person you're gonna be able to please is yourself when you get rid of all the hang-ups that you have about your body and decide that you're just going to live your life and you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And so and if you don't want to wear a bikini, don't wear a bikini. If you want to wear a one piece, if you want to wear a freaking scuba suit, get out there and do what it is that you want to do and look the way that you want to look, because when it comes down to it, that's really all that matters. And the hang-ups that we have over the way that we look are so often influenced by everybody else around us, and they're not who you need to be thinking about when you're dressing yourself. You need to be thinking about, what do I want to wear? What do I feel good about? Well,
and you know what's funny is I find that a lot of times when people dress themselves based off how other people feel about their bodies, is that they end up not dressing themselves. They end up hiding themselves. Yeah. So they end up.
And I've been there.
We've all been there. Just like
hiding
from the camera.
I go there. It's not something that is even behind me. I still have. It's a daily thing of deciding like, where mentally am I going to be today?
Yeah. I mean, even like, I'm pretty body confident. I've been thick long enough.
I freaking love my body.
But I will tell you, I followed this girl on TikTok she's younger. I mean, I'm going to guess she's 30, and she's a mom, and she is this Hispanic. I've talked about her before. She's a Hispanic girl that cooks, and I just love her. She's got the best personality, and she's maybe 5 foot tall. She looks tiny. In my head, she's tiny. And she's tiny. Like, I'm looking at her, and I know this girl's tiny, but she's had children. She has curves. She has a little bit of an apron belly, and she wears these little warm-up suits all the times, or even leggings with crop tops. But the warm-up suits have a crop top, and the leggings have a crop top. And she doesn't have any kind of like excess anything coming out of the crop top or the pants, but she has a little bit of an apron belly, and she has some curves. And I'm going to tell you, every time I see her, I'm like, God, that girl is so cute.
Love it.
Pretty.
Love it.
And rocking her body and in what she's wearing, and confident. And you can tell she's confident by how she carries herself, because you can tell. Shoulders back, head up. You can physically see this on a person.
Oh, yeah, you can see confidence for sure.
And I find that so attractive, and so I'm proud of her without knowing her, if that makes sense. And it's not because she doesn't look good. It's because she does look good, and she knows she looks good, and who the fuck cares if I get an apron belly? Because we've all had children. Anyone that's had children, you get an apron belly. Not everybody.
And even if
some people are God's
like,
favorite, and that's awesome. I'm not.
About that.
And I got a little bit of flaws here and there.
I just love it all.
And so I just love seeing somebody just not only own it, but own it and rock it and love it. And you know what I mean?
Yes,
and,
I do.
And like I saw a video
Shot
the other
time.
day of a guy. Yeah, we have no shots with us. I saw a video of a guy the other day and a girl, and somebody else was taking the video from kind of across the room, and it was a couple, obviously. And like, she was leaning into him, and she had a little bit of like love handles on the side, and he was like grabbing them. And we've talked about this on before about people doing that. And he's grabbing her apron, or not apron, he's grabbing her love handles, like holding them tight. Like he loves it. He loves that fucking handle. Like he needs it.
Yeah.
And
It's like you would caress a boob or something.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And Rick does that to my excess
shots.
spots. Yeah. He does that to my excess spots, like where I feel like maybe I'm a little insecure about. He loves, that's what he loves. And the man has a 6-pack. It's so funny. When I lost too much weight, he was like, girl,
tell you what,
I like it thick.
you have to love yourself. You have to figure out how to love yourself, and you got to be with somebody who loves you too. And
I agree. And they love your body too.
Yes.
They're not trying to change you, whatever the case is. And like what you said earlier, where you were like, you know, it's hard to get to perfect. Like there's always something.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, I got to the smallest adult weight I'd ever been to. And I really don't know why. I mean, I was kind of watching my calories and kind of doing things, but honestly, it kind of just fell off me.
Yeah. It wasn't a conscious thing.
A little conscious, but not. I was definitely not doing anything major where it should have dropped, you know. So I got down to my high school senior weight. I literally got into my favorite skirt from high school. And it fit me the way it fit in high school. It was so cute. I gave it away once I got into it. So I got to that weight. I lost my boobs. Like I lost my boobs. Like I went from a double D
Yeah,
to
they
a
go bye-bye.
B.
The boobs go, the butt goes.
And your boobs when you lose weight are not as cute as before you gain the weight. Well, I don't know. Shit, man. It's been a long time. Who knows what they would have looked like.
I don't even know.
And I was self-conscious of my boobs. So I'm like, lost all this weight, flat stomach, look great in a bikini, can wear a size, you know, high school. I'm self-conscious of my boobs.
Yeah. There's no winning, really.
There is no winning.
There's no winning.
And I had to like talk
That's why
myself
you
out
just
of
have
that.
to love it. You got to love it all.
So are you giving advice or did someone try to give you advice?
No, that was me. That was me to myself because, like I said, it's an everyday thing. So as I'm getting dressed and putting on my bikini, and of course I'm looking in the mirror, and you start down that, you know, slippery slope of, oh, if I just, you know, looked a little bit better in this, and I stopped myself. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Turned on some music, had a little dance session in front of my mirrors with my bikini on to hype myself up because I'm like, I don't care who's looking at me because you're never going to stop people from looking at you.
Yeah, and you're never going to be
and
perfect.
you're never going to know exactly what they're thinking, and who cares? They're going to look anyway. They're going to look because they like it, or they're going to look because they don't like it. So it doesn't really matter if they're, because they're going to look anyways, because you have people who look at people and they're disgusted, and you have people look at you and they love it. So they're looking anyway. So what the hell does it matter?
Yeah,
Just do it. Get out there and
do it.
And I went and I had a nice little tan session, and I got to, you know, it was great. And that's what you have to do. You have to just realize that you're never going to change society. You're never going to change the society standards that are up against you. So if you can't beat them, just fuck them, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't literally fuck them.
Or do.
Or do.
Whatever your thing is.
I will say that's one thing about the girls' weekends that we have that I see you'll go with the same girls to the lake or to the beach or to the river, and they're not going to wear their bathing suits in public. They're not going to wear a sleeveless dress or shirt because they're worried about their arms.
Yeah.
They're worried about this. And when I say girls, I mean women our age.
Yeah.
And then, but you go to the girls' weekend and they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And
you can't keep the clothes on.
Yeah, that is true. You know, but it tells you two things. It tells you that they're in a safe environment.
Yes.
And they trust the women they're with.
Yep.
And they should. And the other thing it tells you is, you know, how hard society is that you have to be in a trusted environment to be able to put on a swimsuit and go swimming.
Right.
And it
not
makes me really
not
sad.
feel like you have to cover up.
Yeah, and not feel like you have to cover up. And I am definitely not the thinnest one in my group. I am one of the heavier ones. And I feel more confident than almost all of them. And they all have insecurities. And I don't blame them because society gave that to us. Yep. Thankful. You know what? I could be in the same boat with them if I had just, you know, had other hiccups in life.
Right.
And my mom was naturally small. My sister is naturally small in general. And my brother was always thin. And I honestly don't have anyone overweight on my mom's side of the family. Like, I'm the only one out of about 100 something of us. I'm the only
who's
one.
God's favorite. So you're God's favorite.
Now I'm God's favorite. And so it really is kind of a bit of, and I wasn't overweight most of my life. I mean, my, younger years or whatever. And I don't know that I'm overweight now. I mean, I guess technically on paper I am. I don't feel like it.
Well, I don't go by paper.
I feel pretty confident about my looks. But, I go to a family reunion and I have cousins my age that can rock a bikini like yesterday. I mean, like, no problem. Like, and they've popped out 4 kids. Like, they just look just like my mom did after kids. It's not my genetic makeup. I take after my dad, who was a linebacker in college football.
Right.
Like, that is what it is. And so that's a mind fuck when you go around every woman you look up to and they all look perfect at your age. So it took a lot for me to get comfortable enough to be comfortable in front of them. And I had to make a decision that these are my people and I have to trust that they love me no matter what size I am.
Oh, yeah.
That's
one of the things I love from when me and Marilee and Zada, well, not Zada, you're not Zada, you're Zada. Me and Marilee and Sunday went down to the river and we went down to, get in the river and tan. And I'm laying out and of course I'm tops off because anytime I'm anywhere, I'm wanting to get naked anyway. So down there, and I love that I looked around and they were the same thing. They took their tops off, and I'm like, I love it. I love boobies, but
I love your boobies.
I just love that it was just infectious. It was like,
and
of course we're doing
place.
this. Of course we are.
Yeah, and a safe place.
It was great.
So we have another girls' weekend coming up at the beginning of June.
Woo woo!
And I'm pretty excited about this one because we have a change up of people.
Yeah.
So we have Kelly and we have Erica. And y'all, here's the deal. If you're listening to this and you have been to a girls' weekend, don't think you're not coming back. I just can't, when there's too many people, you can't enjoy the people.
Yeah.
And
that's a lot to entertain.
It's just
a lot to do.
Then
it's a lot of cleanup.
It's a lot. It's asking for problems.
Yeah.
But so I have to pick and choose, each time different people. Mm-hmm. So, and I do keep Kelly always gets to come. Erica always gets to come. But both of them invest in the cabin too. Like you come
we're cleaning shit.
Y'all help me prep it for the season. Y'all help me close it down for the season. Like y'all do a lot of work with me. And so that's how they get in. The other rest of the cast is kind of rotating, and it's not because I don't love them all. It is because I'm trying to get in all the people that I love.
Yeah.
So this particular one, and you have to mix right personalities together too.
Yeah.
That's
an art right there.
Yeah. Is it my first, I don't know if I've said it yet. Have I?
What?
I didn't say what I mean, but I said
No, you have. I don't know.
Damn it.
I'm so confused.
Me too. Okay, so this time we have me, Kelly, Erica, maybe Mary, if she can make it. And then my friend Heather and my friend Shannon, who don't always come, but have been before, and they're very low key and calm. So I don't know if Shannon's calm, but she's not wild. And then we have, and then I invited my work friend.
You did?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm
she
excited.
Is
I'm so happy.
Freaking excited. So it's going to be a good one, and we're looking forward to it.
I have to say, Dante told me the other day that they have their big family reunion that weekend. And I was like, because he told me the date, and I went to check to see, and I was like, and he's like, what? He saw it in my face. He was like, what? I said, where are we going to go to the cabin girls weekend? He's like, oh, babe, no, you go to that. You go. You need to be with your girls. I said, but it's your family reunion. I want to be there for you too.
Yeah.
And he's like, you are here for me. And that's all that matters.
Aww,
go to your girls weekend.
Best boyfriend ever.
I know. I was like, you know what? You're right.
You're right. I needed that.
You're always right.
So we have that going up. On the San Saba note, so 2 days ago I'm at work, and this guy comes in that I work with, but he works for a branch of ours that's in the Hill Country, which is where San Saba is. It's
cool.
He works in a branch outside of Austin in Killeen, Texas. He lives in Waco, which I think is about maybe 45 minutes from Killeen. I didn't know where he lived, and I've known him for a few years, but I don't know him well, but I do see him every once in a while. And so he pops in, and he said, we're talking. And I said, hey, do you live in Killeen? And the reason I was asking him, I was going to pitch to him to rent the cabin.
Nice.
And I said, do you live in Killeen, or where do you live? And he was like, no, I don't want to live in Killeen. I live in Waco. I said, oh, you do? And he was like, yeah, no. And I said, oh, okay. I was like, well, I drive through Waco when I go to my family cabin from my hometown. He goes, what's your hometown? I said, San Saba. Which, y'all, San Saba is about 3,000 people.
Yeah.
4 tops. Okay, it's a very small town.
Very small.
And so I'm like, so I thought, and he goes, San Saba, I go there all the time. two of my best friends are brothers and they're from San Saba. I was like, that's crazy. And he goes, what's your family's name? So I go through my family names. He was like, no, that's not their name. I said, well, what is their name? And he says, Troy. He doesn't even get to the last name. He says, Troy. I said, Shaw.
Of course you know them.
Yes. And I said, and Trey Shaw? And he said, yes. And he goes, you know Troy and Trey? I said, oh, I know Troy and Trey.
Oh.
My mom was best friends with their mom and their mom's sister.
Wow.
They have been present at most of my family reunions growing up. They were like cousins to me without being cousins to me. And by cousins, I mean kissing cousins.
Kissing cousins.
Because Trey was my first kiss when I was 4 years old.
Oh my gosh.
His cousin Jeffrey was my second kiss.
Girl,
5 minutes
you were
later.
You were moving fast at 4 years old, girl.
I mean, I was told to do it.
Well, my mom told me that I was engaged when I was in kindergarten. And
I
she's
made my
like-
sister have a fake wedding with her cousin when they were like 4.
She's like, Kelly, don't you think that you wanted to like give it a little bit more time? And I was like, I said, no, I'm just ready to get married, get old, die, and give it over with. And I was like,
That's not you at all. That's funny. You've changed, Kelly. You've changed.
see, I needed to wait. I needed
Yeah,
to.
you definitely
She
need
was
to
a
wait.
very smart woman. I needed to
Listen to
wait.
your mother. Which he thought it was so funny. He was like, you are kidding me. I was like, I am not kidding you. And he goes, so you know the whole family? I said, not only do I know the whole family, but let me tell you, this family changed my life. And he was like, what? And I said, okay, so my mom had a date with I take it back. Their aunt had a date with a gentleman, and she met. I don't know how she met him, and they were on a date in Austin. And Austin's a little over an hour away from San Saba. Mm-hmm. And so she said he's bringing a friend. So I need to bring a friend, and will you go on a double date? So my mom's like, yeah, I'll go on the double date. So they go to Austin and they go on this double date. I'm sorry for anyone this offends. Both the men were married. I don't know that either woman knew that.
Right.
But based on my mom's history, she probably knew
Yeah,
it.
probably wouldn't have changed anything.
So they go on the double date. Within 3 months, he has left his wife, and my mom and I have moved to Ellis County. And that is how I ended up in Ellis County.
Yikes.
And that is the father of my sister. And the best stepdad. I mean, my current stepdad, my mom's last husband, is awesome. Equal. They're both equal. They're wonderful stepfathers. Probably not the best husband to the first wife.
Apparently.
But I don't know what's going on in the marriage.
Yeah,
I'm not here to judge. It's not my, whatever. But that's how I ended up in Ellis County, was because of Troy and Trey's aunt going on the date with.
Wow.
The funny part is that the guy that the aunt went on the date with, I am friends with his entire family now, because that was my stepdad's business partner. And he is very much still married to his wife. They've married a very long time. And I am friends with all his children, and they are all very well aware
Wow.
of all of it.
Well, there
So
you
it's
go.
not. Look at Bo is bringing us water.
What a sweetheart.
Thank you, Bo.
You're the
You're
best.
so sweet.
You really are. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bo. I love you. Thank you. Yes. Another time.
Thank you, Bo.
Thank you. Anyways, I just thought that's a small world, and we have an ongoing joke. There's, if you've ever heard the 6 degrees of 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon, have you ever heard this?
I've heard it, but have never watched it. I know. Isn't it a movie or something?
No,
I thought it was a movie.
no.
See, okay, well, obviously,
Kevin
I don't know what I'm
Bacon.
talking about.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
is
about
a-
how you know people, like
Yeah,
but
how
there's
you're
that
connected to him within
Yeah,
6 degrees.
There you go. Yeah.
So he's a famous actor, and somehow Kevin Bacon has 6 degrees to like every single person in Hollywood. He's been in a movie, who's been in a movie, who's been in a movie, who's been in a movie.
Right.
And so there's an ongoing joke. There is always 6 degrees of separation between Kevin Bacon and every actor in Hollywood. And I am 6 degrees of Zeta Owens for Texas.
I believe it.
It
I
happens
definitely
so
believe
often
it.
that yesterday at work, after like the 4th customer in a row, my boss turns to me and goes, "Who do you not know?"
Yeah, that would be a shorter list, and I don't think that list exists.
Exactly. He was like, "I didn't expect that one. I didn't think you were going to know this guy. I didn't know. He just drove in from Oklahoma." And I
for
was
my
like,
next trick,
but he's married to so-and-so whose cousins was so-and-so who at one point sold me a pair of shoes.
so true.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So I got a good little laugh out of that.
love
Anyways,
it.
that's my small world. Our
I
next
love small
topic,
world. Okay, let me tell you about
butterflies. Tell me about butterflies.
I'm gonna tell you that I feel like a freaking masochist because this is the time of year of butterflies, man. And I have to tell you, I feel so bad for the amount of pretty yellow butterflies that I just destroy when I'm driving down the road. Have you noticed how many butterflies you kill when you're
yet
driving?
to kill one.
Oh my
I don't-
God!
I don't know if I've ever killed one.
I can't be the only one. They can't be just like flocking to me when I drive, but like literally,
I've taken out a number of bunnies and
driving,
armadillos.
and maybe it's a small town country road kind of thing. It's like it's not going to happen like on the highway, but like
Right.
when I'm driving home, when I go like to home, the back roads to my house, like it's like these little yellow butterflies, and they're just like flitting around, like living their best life. And here I come, bam, like smash. I feel so bad. I can't swerve for the butterfly and like put myself and everybody else in danger. So of course I just gotta hit it. But then
It's not your fault they're
I'm
stupid.
Like, oh my gosh, I've massacred like so many yellow butterflies, and I feel horrible about it.
My ex-husband, when he was like 18, on his way to high school, he told me this story so many times that I'm scarred from it. And he's driving through his neighborhood, and he lived in a suburban neighborhood where houses like were on top of each other, and everybody would park they had small driveways, so
Yeah.
everybody parked in the street. So there's like enough room for basically one car between the two cars parked in the street. And one day a puppy ran out in front of his car as he's driving to school, and he hit the puppy and it died. That man is still probably scarred.
It happens.
But-
I don't swerve. I've been taught not to.
Yeah, you're not supposed
You
to.
don't
It's
swerve.
it's way more dangerous.
You just hit it.
Yeah.
You just
I
feel
mean,
bad.
yeah.
I thankfully I haven't hit too many things. I've hit a bunny before, a million butterflies.
I feel like you've been with me when I've hit a bunny or two
squirrel.
on the way to San Sabbath.
I was with my brother when he hit a deer before. That was horrible. I was with Dante. He hit a hawk that was swooping down like to eat something
Yeah.
on the road. Bam, just killed. Oh my gosh, it was horrible.
My mom and my grandparents, when she was a kid, hit a buzzard, and it was eating a dead deer.
Oh, I think that's what it was. It was a buzzard because
Okay.
it was huge. It was like the wingspan of our
Yes.
car.
Yeah.
like I thought we were like gonna die because the buzzard was
back
so big.
in the day, they didn't have the same kind of tempered glass. So, like now, if they hit your glass, it's really hard to break
Mm-hmm.
it because it's tempered. But when my mom was growing up, it was just glass.
Yeah.
It was the same kind of glass you'd have on a window in your house.
Yeah.
And or you'd have a cup made out of. And they hit a buzzard, and wings spanned out, comes directly in. It flew into them.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
And my mom used to get car sick, so she always rode in the front between her parents because she would throw up easy. So she's
the
riding in the
same.
front with her parents. Buzzard flies into the front of the car, breaks through the glass, lands on them dead in the front seat, and she's in the middle. So like the main part of
Oh
the
my
bird's on her
gosh.
lap. She was scarred.
Yeah, I don't think there's any coming back from that.
No. So
That's horrible.
I feel you.
Oh my gosh.
Now that we've talked about death and destruction, I got a funny story.
Let's lighten the mood a little bit here.
We're gonna
okay?
lie in the
No,
mood.
no,
We're
lighten the mood.
gonna talk a sex story. So
I love it.
yeah. So last night, I asked Kelly, should I tell this story? Is this even funny?
Yes.
Is it in my head funny? She was like, you got to tell this story. So last night we are going to bed. I'm usually a little bit behind him because I'm doing a few things in the night. And so I take my shower after him usually. So I take my shower, I get out of there, I get ready, whatever, for bed. He's in bed. We don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. I'm not a TV person. Now that he's moved in, he'll watch. We have, I don't know, one of those box things. So he watches stuff. He pretty much just watches Trailer Park Boys because he grew up in a trailer park and it makes him feel like home. I'd like to say I'm joking. I'm not. He literally grew up in that trailer park practically. Like it's exactly how he grew up.
Nostalgia.
So he, every time he watches a show, he dies laughing. He loves it. But I recognize that he relates to it, and it makes me, because he's told me so many stories, and it just cracks me up. I lived in a trailer park for 6 months. It's all I could take. I moved in with my dad and had to get away from it. Apparently, he was okay with it.
He was thriving.
He thrived in it. He was the king of the trailer park. If you've ever seen the show, he was Julian. Okay, and so I love Julian. And so I go in the bedroom. I walk around the bed. He's wearing his basketball shorts. Like, you know, when he only wears shorts if he's wearing them to bed or in the lake. So he has swim trunks and he has basketball shorts he doesn't leave the house in. You will not see him in public in tennis shoes or shorts.
No.
It doesn't exist.
It's always pants and boots.
Always. And starched.
Yeah.
And
Duh.
so, yeah. And so but around the house with these baggy basketball shorts. And he likes to bring the trailer park out. And so he's in his basketball shorts watching the Trailer Park Boys. I come around the bed. I turn all the lights off. I come around the bed. I usually leave a lamp on, so my lamp is still on next to my bed. Get around there. They say something crazy on the Trailer Park Boys. I don't remember what it was, but they say something. I want to look at it. There was something going on. So I'm standing next to the bed, next to my side of the bed. He's laying in the bed in his basketball shorts. I look at the TV. I'm talking 30 seconds at the most. I'm talking barely looked at the TV.
Just looked over there.
I don't even see any commotion to my right, which is where he's laying at all. I don't notice it, which is weird. I do notice things, y'all. And so then I turn around and the man is completely naked. He has undressed himself without me noticing. And he's laying in bed in the middle of the bed, stark naked with the biggest fucking grin on his face. Like a child, just happy to be there. I lost my shit. When the fuck did you get those shorts off and I didn't notice? I was standing within a foot of you, looking away, but not. My back was not completely to
you just
him.
turned your head.
I turned my side, yeah. And he's come. I said, I lost my shit. I started laughing so hard. I had to like bend over and like put my face in the mattress to laugh. And I'm like, oh my God, when did you do that? Just now? I did not see you. I know.
That was impressive.
I was like, are you trying to tell me something? Yes.
You're taking the hint.
I see what you're throwing down.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm picking up what you're throwing down. So it got laid.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Turn the volume up. Yeah, the crowd goes, wow. Yeah.
So happy for you.
You got it the 2 nights before too. Yeah, because we're good at that. Anyways, so that was my Rick story. I apologize to anyone that didn't want to hear about my sex life. But it was so funny. And that shit-eating grin on his face.
Hey, you know what? You got to keep things interesting, okay?
You
just
do. My other thing is that I think is really funny, and he does this, and I tease him about it, and he's going to hate me for saying this, and no one's saying anything to him. I'm serious, because he doesn't listen. Is that after we have sex, he always laughs. Like he's really happy. It's like a child in a candy store that can get anything he wanted. And so now he's really happy.
That's great.
And so last night, I mean, we're on like day 3 of it. And so last night, and I'd been on my period the week before. So there was like a dry spell of a week.
Yeah, it's always the worst.
We've always had a great sex life. So like, this is not, suddenly having great sex. No, we've always had a great sex life. This has never been a problem. And so he says, he didn't giggle quite as much. It was a smaller giggle. And I was like, why is that a small giggle? Why are you not
What's
fully
going on
laughing?
here?
What's going on here? And which made him laugh. I said, why do you laugh? I'm just happy.
Of course, duh.
I'm like, motherfucker, you're an asshole all day. You get sex, you're like,
We always, whenever my signal for wanting to have sex, and so is Dante's, is whenever he locks the door that goes out to the rest of the house, he'll lock it. Yeah. And so like he'll be standing at the doorway and he'll lock the door. And while he's standing there, he pulls down his because he does he's either in boxers or in basketball shorts. Yeah. And so he locks the door and then he pulls down his basketball shorts.
Same idea.
Or if I walk in and I close the door and I lock it behind me and he's already laying in bed, he's taking his shorts off. I was like, you're so well trained. I love it.
I love it. Take it off. I know, not another word needed. Not another word needed. We've trained them.
I know. So great.
Good job. Y'all take notes.
High five.
High five. There you go. All right. I think that's all we got for
We
this
did
week,
it.
right?
You're welcome.
Yeah. So y'all join us again next week for the next episode. I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're going to make some shit up.
We're just going to wing
from
it.
there.
Yeah, that's usually what we do.
Yeah. It's funny because I get asked a lot when I talk about the podcast, what's your podcast about? And I'm like,
you name it.
girls, friends.
Next week we're going to talk
men,
about
sex.
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, we'll come up. I got my own. No. But I don't even know how to explain what it's about. You know what? That's a good question for listeners to message us. What is our podcast about? What's your perception of what our podcast is about.
2 bitches and a half truth.
Fucking Rick.
That's still the best one. I'm sorry.
It really is. It really is. But I would like to hear what y'all have to say. Then I can give it an answer when people ask. All right, so y'all join us again next week on
2 sides
and the truth.
Bye.